My name's Ben, and today we've got a very unique car to show you around. This is a 2023 on a 23 registration Land Rover Defender 90 full urban exterior kit, and it's also the 5-litre P525 supercharged engine, so it's an incredibly rare car to be a full urban kit in this engine configuration. And this car's got some very unique features that we've never seen on other Defenders, full stop. But we'll talk you around the car as best as we can. It's 2 owners on the logbook, but the second owner has actually bought it from Land Rover at 100 miles old. So he's basically had it as good as new, and the urban kit was fitted straight away as well. And the list price before the urban kit of the car was £143,000. So it's an incredible car for the money that it is at today. And we'll walk around it and try and point out the bits to you. So obviously the paintwork is metallic grey with the black and orange leather interior, and we'll talk about that as we go around the car, because that is a completely whole different, you could do a whole video on that on its own, it's so special. But starting on the outside, as I mentioned, full urban exterior kit. So we've got the light bar across the top of the roof, we've got the bonnet vents on the front, obviously the urban lettering, and then the big LED daytime running lights, high power LED daytime running lights, part of the urban kit in the front bumpers here. Also the lower sort of front canards on either side of the front bumper. And then as part of sort of standard Land Rover spec, we've got the LED matrix lights as well, and the LED daytime running light, which goes around the outside. And we also have a 360-degree camera system, which the camera is just in the center of that lower grille there. Coming around the side, we've got the extended wheel arch kit, again from Urban, and the best of British side vents with the Union Jack in them. And then the 22-inch Urban wheels, which I think really look great. A lot of people put Urban wheels on the Defenders these days, but they're a great looking wheel. It's easy to see why so many people do it. And then the orange brake calipers to match the interior with the Land Rover lettering, and they are Brembo calipers as well, so very powerful brakes. Obviously being a P525, it does need the stopping power to match. We have Urban mud flaps as well, and then the dark shadow side step from Urban. And then if you have a look inside, you'll get your first look at the unique interior, which was trimmed in orange by a company called DK Schweizer. And they do a lot of OEM interior leather, etc. So it's unique interior to this car, and it's beautifully done. It's as good quality as a Land Rover interior, if you ask me. We do have an opening panoramic roof, but I'll show you that as we get around the driver's side. The illuminated V8 door entry guards, and there's lots more to talk about on the interior. Privacy glass to the rear 3/4, and an extended Urban spoiler to match that light bar on the front. The full Urban wheel cover, and there is a full-size spare wheel under there, the original Land Rover spare wheel. Urban mud flaps on the back, and the darkened lights as well. So these would normally be red around the outsides, but it's been darkened to match the body colour. It's very nice. If you have a look in the boot, you'll see obviously the whole sort of flooring in the car is this hard textile material, so the idea is you can fold those middle row seats down and you almost have like a minivan. It's very clever how it works, and the parcel shelf's very easy to just sort of fold out of the way if you do need to put anything in there. And there's a small bit of extra space under the boot floor in the jacking area, and that bit does lift out as well, and there's a bit more extra space underneath the boot floor if you need it. The car's also got a deployable tow bar, which is deployed through 2 buttons here, so you can do that. And because it's on air suspension, you can raise and lower the back end of the car to help assist with loading stuff in. We do have a reverse camera, which is just underneath the spare wheel, and you might have noticed the quad exhaust pipes. It's got the Miltech X Urban exhaust on it, so it sounds incredible. Urban badge on the boot there as well. And then we'll jump in the driver's side and talk you through some of the interior options. It's keyless entry as well, so if you've got the key in your pocket, the button on the door handles will allow you in and out of the car. And then if we start on the door card, you'll see that beautiful orange leather that's trimmed everywhere, goes really nicely with the brake calipers. And as I said earlier on, it's as good quality as any of the other leather in the car anywhere. The painted inner door sections on the Defenders is really cool because they're very utilitarian, and then the hard wearing plastic sections as well. We've got electric memory settings for the driver and passenger seat as well, and then power folding door mirrors, the Meridian surround sound system, which is a very good sound system. And then coming across into the cockpit, keyless start, so if I just put my foot on the brake and push the start button, the car fires into life, and it sounds absolutely incredible. Hopefully you can probably pick it up in the background of the camera. Steering column is all electrically adjustable, so it comes up, down, in and out on this small stalk, and that saves with your memory settings as well. It's obviously an Alcantara trimmed steering wheel as part of being a P525, and you've got the leather section in the centre. It's a small detail, but it makes a big difference, because there's a lot of Defenders out there which this is just in sort of a cheap plastic material, not actual genuine leather like this one. Heated steering wheel on the right hand side there, which is a very nice feature to have, and then our adaptive cruise control buttons all on the right hand side of the steering wheel. The left hand side controls our virtual cockpit in front of me, so at the moment you can see we're on a full screen map, but I can go into display layout, and we can have it like a traditional instrument panel if you like. It will load through, and there you go, you've still got the map in the middle, but you've got all the information you need right there in front of you. It's very configurable. There's a lot more configuration than what I've just showed you, but that's just a quick taster. And then you can see the auto lights button at the top there because of the matrix lights fitted to the car. It'd be very difficult for the cameraman to pick up, but up in front of me you can see the cutout for the heads-up display. We've got, again, quite an unusual feature on a Defender, but very nice to have that. And then we'll come across into the centre. So first of all, we'll look up at the door, at the rear view mirror, because this is a digital rear view mirror, so you can flick that button there, and it uses a camera on the shark fin at the back of the car, and you can adjust this as well. So I can adjust the brightness up and down, or I can adjust the angle of the camera up and down as well to suit if you've got the back of the car full of stuff and you need to be able to see out. It's an easy way to do it, and just flick that off to have the traditional mirror. We've got garage door opening controls on the left hand side of the mirror there as well, very nice to have. And whilst we're looking up here, I'll open that blind as well so you can see that huge panoramic sunroof. It is an opening sunroof, so I'll just quickly open it whilst we're in here, and you'll see what that looks like from outside afterwards. But then coming back to the infotainment screen, we've got the wider or bigger navigation screen, I should say. I believe it's 11.3 inches, but I will double check that. But it's all touchscreen, it's very responsive. Land Rover's own sat nav on here. It's also all wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so if I go onto this button here, you'll see Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and then lots of other options you can play about with in here. We've got heated and I believe ventilated seats in the front as well. Yeah, there we go. So ventilated and heated seats in the front, and also heated seats in the rear as well. And I'll just turn those off, come back into centre, pop the car into reverse, and you'll see our 3D camera system that comes up. So on the left hand side at the moment we've got the reversing camera, and on the right hand side our bird's eye view, and all of these little black dots are extra cameras we can click on to view the car at different angles, and it's very clever how it does it. So you can see we're now looking at a 3/4 angle. That will move with the car as well, so when you're driving along that will update, and you can pull yourself around the car and look at all sorts of different angles. It's very clever if you're driving around a fence post or something and you need to be able to see where it is. It's very, very useful for that. And there's various other cameras on the off-road settings here as well. Pop it back into park, and then down beneath here we've got our climate control buttons, and again another shortcut for the seats, so you can just do the seats via pressing that button in and then going left or right on there for the heated or cooled. Our air suspension button, so at the moment we're down in access mode. The car will go up into normal automatically when you drive, and there's also a raised suspension mode for if you need to go off-road or over anything that's slightly higher than normal obstacles. We can press this button to turn our right hand dial into our off-road modes, and you can see here grass, gravel, snow, mud ruts, sand dunes, and all sorts of different settings on there. I'll just pop it back into normal for the time being. Lots of storage everywhere you look. Obviously it is a Defender, so it's very utilitarian. There's storage all down here, there's cup holders under there, and then very neatly with this tray there's a slot under here where that can fit down into beautifully. A wireless phone charging pad, and then a centre console refrigerator with 2 cooling settings in there, which is again very nice to have for any summer journeys that you might do. And then we'll jump outside and summarise the car. Hopefully I've not missed anything, but there is so much to talk about. It's just 8,000 miles from new, and the amount of over and above standard options on this car is so unique. You know, it was well over, by the time the customer had bought the car and done the upgrades, it was well over £150,000. So, you know, it's an extortionate amount of car for the money, and an incredible opportunity for somebody. My name's Ben. I hope the video's helped. Thank you very much for watching.